Welcome to FJ's Trader School. Unexplored. Man, it's been a while since I said that. My boy finally got his mega. And I don't mean him. I mean Hawlucha. Now, you've probably seen most people who aren't on the spectrum to some degree, like me, when it comes to pro wrestling, just purely equate this design to Rey Mysterio, the Booyaka 619 man, or a deadbeat dad if you were to ask some other people. Rey is likely one of the biggest luchadors of all time, don't get me wrong. But the roots of Lucha Libre go way deeper than that. Nowadays we have Dragon Lee and Penta and Phoenix and Bandito. You go back a few years and beyond and we have legends like Mystico, Sin Cara, not the WWE version though, we don't want that. Eddie Guerrero, Blue Demon, just many huge Lucha Libre names. So, we are going to go over a few who I think were pretty big design inspirations for the homie Mega Hawlucha. Like, comment, subscribe, watch other videos. I don't know, man. This isn't sponsored by anybody or anything. I just really like Pokemon and I'm trying to get back into editing. So, yeah, anything helps and thanks for watching. Starting off with an example. His new mask is in line with most you'd expect from any other luchador. It's the accoutrements, with the mask like the upper chest area, or say the cape, that makes it stand out a little bit more in, say, the entrance of a luchador, or even just a professional wrestler in general. But to me, this is very Ultimo Dragon-like, Japanese legend who immediately popped into my head after seeing the design. While most luchadors take off the, headdress and headsets and headpieces and whatever they're going down to the ring in, Ultimo Dragon would leave his on during matches, like Mega Hawlucha does. So, it's a nice touch that most people would just assume the socks come off, so, everything else comes off too. The tassels are also a staple of a lot of masks, and that's not even just Lucha Libre ones, because everyone loves little danglies. Though, at this long length for in-ring is a little more rare of a sight. I think another Japanese legend in Hayabusa is a good comparison, since he always had long flowing ones on his masks. Well, not as long as Mega Hawlucha's, but they were still very long and very unique to Hayabusa. While we're on mask features, the covered eyes are a pretty common mask thing in Lucha Libre as well. I think it's just to add mystery or character to a person. Maybe, they just want to, be a heel or be a face, or, maybe it just looks better with, the eyes covered up on the mask design itself. While we're here, as an aside, you're never going to see long flowing capes in the ring for safety reasons. Obviously you don't want it to get caught on the ropes or, actually choke somebody or break somebody's neck or limb or something like that because it gets wrapped around them. You don't want any of that, obviously. But like the outfit or headwear that, many wrestlers and luchadors specifically use for entrances, it's all pretty standard over-the-top flair. While Rey has also used gold and black on his mask many a time, Rey Mysterio, that is, not Phoenix, it's hardly his trademark or anything like that. I think a better comparison could be Mexican legend Mil Mascaras, and yes, we won't talk about his oldest son, because while Mil has a silver-trimmed mask variant, he also has a base black with gold trim as well. That looks very much like Hawlucha's. This also works since Mil Mascaras is a big heavyweight, and I'm assuming Hawlucha gets some serious gains when he does Omega himself. Not all luchadors are high flyers, mind you, too, and you gotta have the beefy boys around to give them a challenge or a level up sometimes in the ring. Finally, Pokemon is a Japanese company, so I assume they pulled a lot more from the Japanese style of masked Lucha Libre. The overall look of Mega Hawlucha screams to me Jushin Thunder Liger. perhaps the greatest junior heavyweight of all time, and one of New Japan Pro Wrestling's most popular wrestlers of all time, I would, imagine. In his late teens in the mid 80s, he went on excursion. Liger, that is. Excursion is a New Japan term for going around the world and learning about other styles of wrestling, and he first went to Mexico. By his own account, he was almost starving, and New Japan officials who came to check on him took pity and brought him home to train. He skyrockets from there, wrestling all over the world, including in 2007 to 2019, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, aka CMLL, one of Mexico's biggest promotions, where he held the CMLL World, Middleweight, and Tag Team titles. That one was with the ace himself and New Japan's current president, Hiroshi Tanahashi. This doesn't count his seemingly hundreds of titles and accolades from all the other years and promotions over his long and storied career. Hell, even Pokemon and CMLL have partnered up for a legitimate collab show next month in Mexico. Legitimately, CMLL and Pokemon have partnered to put on a wrestling show and event, which is just insanely cool, honestly. Well versed in Lucha Libre, Jushin Thunder Liger's character is based on an anime character of the same name, but then that was transcended with his wrestling character. So he was an anime character that was turned into a wrestling character, and the wrestling character he did so well with, it got so popular that it became, bigger than the anime character itself. You keeping up yet? Okay, if you're not keeping up, it's fine. Insanely catchy intro music that gets the crowd pumped. He has a huge mask with covered eyes, horns which you could argue are like Mega Hawlucha's tassels, and same with his hair. His entrance has a huge cape with a chest piece as well. And even like Hawlucha, while not the biggest, can stand up with the heavyweights too. I was inspired yet again by Loxton and Noggin. His video on Mega Hawlucha, and any of his stuff, is worth a watch, by the way, but he did mention he really didn't know too much about the history of Lucha Libre or wrestling in general. I'm well versed enough in the wrestling that I've watched over the years to be able to correlate themes and styles. Even if I'm not the strongest in Lucha knowledge and history, I've seen so many luchadors between WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and All Elite Wrestling over the years. You just have names and ideas and everything just rattling around up in there. And I think Pokemon did a bang-up job with Hawlucha's design as well. They kept it simple. They incorporated good design. And most importantly, even though it is Lucha Libre pageantry, they didn't over-design them. Well, get out of here. Thank you for watching. Can I stop smiling now? Can I stop? Yeah, okay, thank you, bye.